All right, settle down. Good morning, future radiographers. Yes, even you guys trying to hide in the back row, I see you. Wake up. Welcome to today's Explainer. Listen, we are stepping right out of the textbook today and onto the chaotic, busy hospital floor. So grab your mental lab coats and get ready because we are tackling something absolutely crucial to your survival and clinical placements, and that is understanding intelligence in clinical radiography. Let's get into it. Ah, look at this. Some of you are brilliant in class, but panic when the patient says, I cannot stand. I see some of you smiling because you know it's true. I have literally seen it 100 times. You get straight A's in your physics exams, you memorize all the anatomy perfectly, but the moment an elderly patient tells you their legs are just too weak for an upright chest film, well, that big, beautiful brain of yours just freezes. The truth is, textbook brilliance absolutely does not equal clinical survival, and that is exactly what we are going to unpack today. So here is our roadmap for this explainer. 1. Welcome to clinical reality. 2. Defining true intelligence. 3. Multiple intelligence in radiography. 4. The power of emotional intelligence. And 5. The ultimate clinical lesson. Section 2. Defining true intelligence. So, what does it really mean to be smart when you are working out there on the hospital floor? Because let's be honest, if it was just about passing a multiple choice test, a computer could do our jobs. Traditional intelligence, or your IQ, is the ability to engage in rapid problem solving and learn from direct experience. Now, notice that word rapid. When a trauma patient rolls in straight from an ambulance, you do not have 30 minutes to casually consult a textbook. No way. Your brain has to fire on all cylinders. You're calculating exposure factors, assessing the patient's condition, and adapting on the fly. That right there is real clinical problem solving. Let's actually test that rapid problem solving right now. A radiography student quickly adjusts exposure factors during an emergency trauma case. Which skill is being demonstrated? Is it A, musical, B, logical, C, naturalistic, or D, linguistic? Think about it for a quick second. You have a critical trauma, you desperately need an optimal image on the very first try without over-radiating your patient, and you are running the numbers in your head. What kind of intelligence are you using? Spot on. The answer is B, logical intelligence. I see a lot of you nodding along. Logical intelligence involves that rapid problem solving, the clinical thinking, and adjusting those exposure factors precisely while under immense pressure. It is really the backbone of your technical skills as a radiographer. But is it the only intelligence you need to survive out there? Absolutely not. Section 3. Multiple intelligences in radiography. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences actually maps beautifully onto our daily tasks in the hospital. Think about it. Visual spatial intelligence, that is exactly what you use when reading x-rays, distinguishing those super subtle shades of gray to spot a tiny hairline fracture. Logical intelligence, well, we just discussed that. That's your trauma problem solving. Interpersonal intelligence is your ability to communicate effectively with patients, building trust instantly. And bodily kinesthetic intelligence, that is your physical coordination when you are positioning a patient perfectly on the table or, let's be real, maneuvering a heavy portable x-ray machine through a crowded ICU ward without knocking over an IV pole. You use every single one of these every day. But I have to say, some students only seem to discover their musical intelligence during clinical exams. You know what I'm talking about. The pressure is on, and suddenly they start singing, Jehovah help me. Oh, don't hide your faces. I have heard you humming those exact prayers when I'm standing over your shoulder checking your positioning. Okay, all jokes aside. Picture this scenario. A student radiographer comforts an anxious patient before an MRI scan. Which intelligence is mostly being used? Is it A, interpersonal, B, musical, C, spatial, or D, naturalistic? Remember, the MRI machine is loud, it is incredibly enclosed, and the patient is terrified. You have to calm them down so they hold completely still, otherwise the entire scan is ruined. So play it out in your head. Which skill are you pulling from to save this scan? Exactly. The correct answer is A, interpersonal intelligence. This focuses entirely on communicating with and comforting your patients. Listen, if you cannot calm an anxious patient, your advanced logical and spatial intelligence literally will not matter at all, because the patient will move, the image will be blurry, and you will just have to start all over again. Section 4. The power of emotional intelligence. Now, this brings us to the absolute core of clinical survival. On one side, we have IQ. This is your academic brilliance, your textbook knowledge, and your technical problem solving. It is what got you a seat in my classroom in the first place. But on the other side, we have EQ, or emotional intelligence. These are your social skills, your empathy, teamwork, and emotional regulation. Look, IQ gets you the interview, but EQ makes you a great radiographer. You absolutely fundamentally need both. Let's actually break down EQ into 5 key steps. Step 1, self-awareness. This is simply knowing when your own stress levels are peaking. Step 2, self-regulation. Keeping a completely calm face even when the emergency room is pure, unfiltered chaos. Step 3, empathy. Truly understanding the pain your patient is experiencing. Step 4, motivation. Having the drive to provide excellent care even at the very end of a brutal 12-hour shift. And finally, Step 5, social skills. Navigating the highly complex dynamics of the hospital staff. So how does this actually look on the floor? Well, it means handling difficult patients by realizing that they're acting out of fear and pain, not malice. It means remaining the calm anchor in the trauma bay during major emergencies. And it means working smoothly with healthcare teams. You're not working in a vacuum. You're interacting with nurses, surgeons, and orderlies. If you have zero social skills, the whole system just breaks down. So I have to ask you this. Why is emotional intelligence so important in radiography? Just brainstorm this for a moment. If we have the top-tier machines and we have the absolute best textbooks, why is your emotional capacity the deciding factor in the outcome of an X-ray or a CT scan? Well, it's because high EQ delivers actual results. We're talking better patient care overall, stronger teamwork across all departments, clearer communication that literally prevents dangerous medical errors, and crucially, reduced patient anxiety. A patient who feels safe and understood will cooperate much better, and that leads directly to faster, safer, and much higher quality imaging. It is a direct clinical benefit. Section 5, the ultimate clinical lesson. This right here is what every single one of you should strive for, the balanced radiographer. You absolutely need high academic intelligence, your IQ, to understand the physics and the anatomy, but you must balance it with high EQ. You need elite patient handling skills, unbreakable stress management so you don't crack under pressure, and flawless teamwork. If you only rely on your textbook smarts, you're really only half a radiographer. Balance is quite literally everything. I really want you to write this on the inside of your lab coats. Seriously, internalize it. Patients do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. Think about it. It doesn't matter if you can flawlessly recite the entire textbook on radiographic positioning if you're cold, impatient, and dismissive to the person in front of you. Soft skills are not optional. They are your ultimate medical tool. Empathy is what truly makes you a healthcare professional. All right, our next lesson in this explainer series is going to cover memory and learning in clinical radiography. We'll be looking at how to actually retain all this massive amount of information you're absorbing right now. But before you pack up your bags and go, I want you to ask yourself a serious question. The next time a terrified patient walks into your X-ray room, will they meet a textbook or will they meet a healer? Just think about that. Thank you all for your great energy today. Class dismissed.